You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Rio of Madison Rising. and you're listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
The mainstream media is really the make-believe media. First, they make up the news, and then they make you believe it.
Hi, this is Susan Swift.
I'm highly successful, have been all my life. I have enjoyed successful careers in film, television, and law.
I'm Dan Wright, a father, a gun owner, a dog owner, and a Federalist.
I'm Susan Swift, and you are listening to Constitution and Culture on KLRN Radio,
where liberty and reason still reign.
And we're back for Constitution and Culture. We've got a great show. This is Susan Swift and Dan Wright, and we got so many fun things going on, but before we set the table, the other thing I do have to tell you is this is going to be the farewell of Constitution and Culture for reasons I cannot divulge, but this will be our last show for at least the foreseeable future. So you'll have to catch Dan. He's going to be bringing a new show to KLRN Radio very, very soon. He'll still be on with his other show on Friday, but I will have to say farewell for the time being. Dan, where can we find you on social media when people want to start following your new show?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Texas Special One. I will be creating a new show account on Facebook, but until then, you can find me at Daniel Wright. It's protected, but you can send me a friend request. And like you said, you can find me Friday nights with Rick on Robinson and Wright at 11 o'clock Eastern, Friday nights. And you just have to basically make sure you stay in touch with me and let me know what you're doing so I can promote what you're doing.
That's great.
I know that you and I both have things going on, and
we do.
It's been fun. I've loved doing this, and we're both moving on to different things, and that's cool.
You guys updated. I will keep you updated and what's happening with me, and so we'll circle back around. Don't worry about it. But yes, for you, if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, I'm Susan Swift. I'm an author. I'm an actress. I'm a lawyer. I'm a happily married mother of 7, and I am a C word. Yes, I'm a conservative, and I'm very proud about that. I'm a Republican. I'm a Texan. I love God. I love family, and I love my country. And I raise my children while sorry feminists try to grab my taxes to pay for abortion. So there you go. That's me in a nutshell. What's happening now since so many things have happened since last week. My goodness gracious. And what we're hearing now is kind of breaking out all over is a former Obama aide is admitting to spying on Trump. Remember that, Trump tweet when he said, yeah, they're wiretapping me, and the left went nuts, absolutely nuts, and said, no, we're not. What is he talking about? He shouldn't even use the word wiretap. That's the wrong term. It's surveillance. And remember that, all of that. They tried to make him sound like he's an idiot and that he's lying, and there was no proof, et cetera, et cetera. We talked about last week when Devin Nunes, he's the Republican, he's the House Intelligence Committee, the lead on the House Intelligence Committee, and he's come out in the last week saying, well, there was some incidental collection of surveillance. He says it appears that it could be legal, and that goes to the, if you remember, the FISA warrants that we've been discussing. A FISA court is the secret court that basically rubber stamps the Department of Justice's request to surveil foreign agents and operatives like the fat, dumb Russian ambassador who comes over here, right? And on using this, we've got a clip on it right now, so go ahead. Let's hear about it.
I also said that while there was not a physical wiretap of Trump Tower, I was concerned that other surveillance activities were used against President Trump and his associates.
There you go. That was Devin Nunes, and I believe that was a few days ago. And now, the interesting thing, Dan, have you heard about this gal, Evelyn Farkas? I want to call her Fracas, but anyway, Evelyn Farkas. She's a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense under Obama. Have you heard about this chick?
A little bit. You're a little more up on it than me, but I've had a couple of solid days of like media blackout at work because of where I've been working. But I've heard a little bit about this.
Well, this is just coming out today. This is she's the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense under Obama. She left the Obama not campaign, but the administration, I think in 2015, and I believe then she moved over. And under she's now in D.C. doing other things. But the interesting thing on the timeline was that in March of this year, just a few weeks ago, she was talking to her good buddy in the mainstream media, the make-believe media, MSNBC's very own Mika Brzezinski. And on Mika's show on MSNBC, Evelyn Farkas basically confirmed deep state spying on President Trump, surveillance of Trump, the unmasking of intelligence leaks, that's like General Flynn unmasking him, and even the politicizing and leaking that collected information to the Obama-friendly DNC contacts and Democrat operatives. So she gave a statement to Mika Brzezinski. I don't think she realized how unwittingly she was admitting what she knew of those days. So let's take a listen. And everybody tune on your little lawyer ears when you go through this, because we're going to parse this very, very carefully so we can hear what she says.
And Evelyn Farkas, the other big story of the day, you actually knew about this attempt to get and preserve information, and full transparency, we're doing some work yourself. Tell us about that.
Well, I was urging my former colleagues and frankly speaking, the people on the Hill. Mm-hmm. It was more actually aimed at telling the Hill people, get as much information as you can, get as much intelligence as you can before President Obama leaves the administration, because I had a fear that somehow that information would disappear with the senior people who left. So it would be hidden away in the bureaucracy, that the Trump folks, if they found out how we knew what we knew about the Trump staff's dealing with Russians, that they would try to compromise those sources and methods, meaning we would no longer have access to that intelligence. So I became very worried because not enough was coming out into the open, and I knew that there was more. We have very good intelligence on Russia. So then I had talked to some of my former colleagues, and I knew that they were trying to also help get information to the Hill.
A lot going on today.
Yeah.
Mark,
that's why you have the leaking.
Exactly.
People are worried.
That's why you have the leaking. That's why you have the leaking. She is talking, she says, not enough was coming out into the open. That means not enough was being leaked. And I knew that there was more. Gee, how did she know that? She had already left the administration, Obama administration, as whatever her position was, a Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. She'd already left in 2015. But in 2016, she knew that there was more. She had been talking to her former colleagues and people on the Hill, urging them to get as much information as you can, get as much intelligence as you can before President Obama leaves the administration. Now, you remember that in the last days, in the sunset of his administration, the last 2 weeks or so, 17 days, Obama broadened the ability of the NSA to disclose information, to essentially spread it around to 16 different other agencies. And that allowed for much, much easier leaking and spreading of information. They did that on purpose to make sure that that information got out before Trump got in. So this is going back to the FISA warrants. Remember the first FISA warrant that sought to, this was reported at Heat Street. Mark Levin has talked about it. A lot of people have talked about it. The first FISA warrant was in June 2016. and they were seeking to surveil Trump. At least he was mentioned in the warrant. We haven't seen it yet, which is what we still need to see. That one was denied. And then they came back in October of 2016, and they got a second FISA warrant, again, according to these sources at Heat Street, and they had to they wanted to surveil a Trump Tower server with possible connections to Russian banking. That was their hook to be able to say, well, we're monitoring Russian things. Just it could be a foreign agency. We just never know. That's the fig leaf. We want to monitor a foreign agency, and and by the way, we'll just incidentally collect information. And that's what Devin Nunes was talking about. And so now here she comes, Evelyn Farkas, who's flapping her gums. I don't think she's. We'll get more clips in a minute, but I don't think she realizes what she's admitting to. She shouldn't. Leaving the administration in 2015, she shouldn't have been able to take information with her, and yet she knows who she goes to talk to. She goes and starts talking. In 2016, she's urging these people at the Obama embeds, in the deep state, this is still while Obama is president, to get as much information out as you can. Get as much intelligence as you can before the Obama administration leaves, right? And she even said that she feared that information would disappear with the senior Obama people who left. Why? If this information is secure in the NSA, why would somehow that information would disappear with the senior Obama people who left? Who would that be? Those senior Obama people, would be Valerie Jarrett, who now lives with Obama and Mrs. Obama in KLRNRadio, wherever that is, that's like half a block away from the Islamic Center of D.C. I mean, they're living in that beautiful house there. I mean, it's a threesome: Valerie Jarrett, Obama, and Mrs. Obama. Right? I mean, it's a political threesome. I mean, it's kind of weird.
Okay,
right? I mean,
you threw political in there. Thank you.
There you go. But I mean, and then they've also got Rahm Emanuel's brother, who's the guy who runs like CBS or something. He's living over there too. He's visiting. I mean, what I'm saying is, what senior Obama people who left, they would somehow take the information? That's what it sounds like to me that she's saying. And then she's worried that the Trump folks, that means the incoming presidential administration, hello very much, if they found out how we knew what we knew about their dealings with Russia. Well, how did they know what they knew about Trump's staff dealings with Russia? Could it have been that spying again? You mean the one that Trump tweeted out about, that he's been wiretapped? How did they know? How did these senior Obama people get as much intelligence as they can? They found out how the Trump staff dealing with Russian, and they would try to compromise those sources, that Trump would somehow try to compromise those sources and methods. Well, what if they're illegal? What if they're a smear job, that, we're just listening to their fat Russian so that we can really selectively and clandestinely listen in on General Flynn and out his name and unmask him, leak him to the press through the widening of the NSA. Right? Is that how they knew what they knew about Trump's dealing with Russia? And then she says, so I became very worried because not enough was coming out into the open, and I knew there was more. When did she know this? She left in 2015. What did she know? What more? And who's sharing it with her? She's talking to her former colleagues, right? She says, we have very good intelligence on Russia. So then I had talked to some of my former colleagues. This is back at the Obama, White House administration, these deep embeds. I had talked to some of my former colleagues, and I knew they were trying to also help get information to the Hill. That's why you have the leaking. She's just confirmed leaking, possibly of secret private information on Americans. That would be a felony, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? She says people are very worried. I think Evelyn Farkas should be very worried, because it sounds like to me that she's admitting that she knows leaking of high-level classified intelligence under a FISA warrant or something else has been going on. And she's urging people to do it. I don't even realize what she's saying.
Make sure all of that information leaves with you. Make sure you take it with you.
Right.
That's basically what she's saying.
Exactly.
She's
you
saying,
don't want to
make
leave it
sure
at the
you
NSA. Exactly.
Right. Make sure you take NSA files with you when you leave, so we have them.
So that we have this intel. I need you to get information to the Hill. Well, that doesn't mean to the GOP, I'll tell you that. The people on the Hill, it means Democrats, operatives, faithful, loyal embed servants, if you will, and to the media. Take the information. Now that it's been spread, now that Obama has opened it up, the NSA, and it's just poured it out like a big bucket on the floor, a big bucket of water, just dumped it so it can spread into 16 different agencies. What she's telling the minions is collect it all up and make sure you've got it when you leave because, and isn't it interesting? I know I'm just kind of jumping around, but now the DNC has now asked for every staff member's resignation. They're not panicked. No, they're not worried at all. They've just asked for every member of the DNC to turn in their resignations. That just happened a day or so ago. Maybe Evelyn knew what was going on, huh? Maybe she said, get the information while you can, because we're gonna have to fire everybody. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's it. They essentially just threw everybody under the bus. They just threw everybody under the bus.
Well, I just wonder why, because Hillary lost. They're still trying to figure out. They can't wrap their brains around the fact that Hillary was a lousy candidate and nobody likes her. She's got fat ankles, to mention one part of her body. But she's an awful character. She's an awful, candidate. We're sick and tired of the Clintons and their legacy. It was Obama's third term. People did not want any more of, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor so long as you're on our government plantation, basic plan. And people rejected it. It was a referendum on Obama, and they rejected Hillary Clinton. And the Democrats cannot accept that. They refuse to accept that. They will not accept it. And so they're trying to figure out what went wrong. And now they're looking at the DNC. That whole scandal, if you remember, that was the DNC collaborated and colluded with Hillary Clinton to make sure that Bernie Sanders never had a chance in Hades to become the nominee. And he had plenty of, mojo. He had the millennial groups behind him. He had tons of campaign rallies that suggested that he had more of a popular vote than Hillary, but it was Hillary, the Dowager Empress's turn, and she was not going to be denied. And she had those 500 or so super delegates, and they made sure, this was Debbie Wasserman Schultz, collaborated and colluded with Hillary Clinton to basically steal the DNC primary. Now, we've got proof of that from John Podesta's emails, thanks to the WikiLeaks. When John Podesta clicked a phishing link in his own email and unwittingly opened up all of his email files so that whoever had sent the phishing link could just suck that all up and deliver it all to WikiLeaks. So we have proof. We have proof of the highest level of collusion to steal an election, in this case, the Democrat National Committee primary. We have that. We know who was involved, Hillary and Debbie Wasserman Schultz at the highest levels, and no one's prosecuting that because the FBI is too worried about whether or not Trump had some hookers go to a hotel in Russia and pee on a bed, because Obama once slept in it. That was that golden shower dossier that was being passed around Washington that not even the media would touch because it really wasn't very well sourced. It was fake news. But Mr. John McCain, the Boy Scout, he wanted to make sure that the FBI got a hold of that and started investigating it. And so that got mixed up into the Russian conspiracy. That's why we're here today. And yet nobody has investigated Hillary Clinton and why she has still not been prosecuted for a private server outside. I mean, she's violating federal law by keeping her emails on that private server that have to do with her work at the State Department. Nobody's going after this, but we're still wondering if there's a Trump-Russian connection. And then we've got Evelyn Farkas here, and I don't understand how doesn't she realize what she needs to lawyer up, because what she's admitting here is that she was communicating with former colleagues somehow back at the Obama embed in the alt White House that's going on. This is in 2015, 2016. She's already out. She's talking to these people, and she's urging them to get as much intelligence as you can, and then make sure you take it with you, because we don't want it to disappear when Obama's people leave. And we don't know if Trump would find out about it and then compromise those sources and methods. Well, gee, why would he? If it's legit, Meaning,
well, yeah, this
no longer
is
have
what
access to that intelligence. She's the Obama deep state has all of this information. I mean, this is what she's tacitly admitting to. They have this intelligence, and she knows that there's more, and it's not coming out. And she's telling these colleagues that she's trying to get this information to, the operatives in the Democrat Party.
Susan, this is what people need to understand. People listening to us right now, everybody needs to understand. I have friends both in the military and in the State Department. Okay, they freak out about having any little glitch that could get them in trouble. Whereas I've been sitting in an office with a military friend talking, and they'll get an email and they're like, I need you to leave my office for a few minutes. You can't be in here while I deal with this.
Right. They're being very, very careful.
That's how the military and people in the State Department handle stuff. This stuff, what we're talking about right now, would get any normal State Department employee, military, anybody. It would get them. It would have them right now in court, being charged with treason.
Treason. Yep. We've only got about 3 minutes to the break, but yes, your point is, look, they've got rules for normal people like you and me, and they prosecute us to the letter. Like that, this one guy who had I forgot his name now, but he was prosecuted, and I can't remember, I'd have to look it up but there was also a man just a regular Navy guy on a sub who took a few pictures to send to his mom, and he got, I think, prosecuted for taking pictures on the nuclear submarine. We're holding Americans to a far different standard, and yet we've got, the elites in government, this former Obama aide, Evelyn Farkas, who's admitting that, there was spying going on Trump. We were trying to get as much information as we could before Obama left. It's just...
But even beyond that, it's the take the information with you when you leave. That's the problem. That is a problem right there.
Get your little thumbnails out, your thumbnail drives, stick them in there, and take everything that you can so you can use it later.
Commit a treasonous felony. Commit a treasonous felony.
That's what it sounds like she's saying. I don't know if she's going to walk this back after all of this explodes. I mean, we're just small time little people. I wonder what people are.
She just threw a bunch. She just threw a bunch of people under the bus, and she didn't even need to. I just don't know how bright she are. That's what
she's an idiot to me. I mean, this is a woman who has clearly no concept of what she just did. I wonder if her defense will have to be, mental incompetence, I guess. We've only got about a minute to the break, so we have to take a break, and then on the other side we can keep talking about this. Again, if you're just turning in, it's Evelyn Farkas, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense under Obama, pretty much confirmed deep state spying on President Trump while she was talking on MSNBC's Mika Brzezinski. So we'll take a break and then we'll come back and pick it up on the other side. So hang in there. See you in a minute.
Footloose and fancy free. You ready for the big time? Is it ready for me? Moving right along. Moving right along. Moving right along. Moving right along.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Well, we're back, the last half hour. Good to have you back. I'm Susan Swift. You can find me at Real Susan Swift on Facebook and on social media. You can check me out on my website, which is susanswift.net. And this is the last half hour of the last show of Constitution and Culture with me and Dan Wright. Thanks for checking back in with us. We were talking before the break about this loose-lipped lady, Evelyn Farkas, who seems unwittingly, I don't understand why she doesn't see that this is a big deal. I think she needs to get a really good DC lawyer, frankly, because she's admitted on MSNBC talking to Mika Brzezinski that she and her former colleagues back in the Obama administration, she was a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Obama. She was urging them to get as much information as they could before Obama leaves the administration. And Dan, you made a great point about how she was urging them to kind of, it sounds like anyway from her what she said, that she's urging people to kind of collect that information and take it with you when you leave.
Yeah, and this is something else that just kind of popped into my head. What scares me is she's the Assistant Secretary of Defense, and this is her ploy is take NSA information with you when you leave.
Yeah,
she was the Assistant Secretary of Defense. What happened the whole time she was the Assistant Secretary of Defense? That's what I'd like to know. How much information does she have with her right now?
I would really.
How much information is in her laptop at home?
Yeah, really. Like what they're doing to Devin Nunes, who's the the chair for the Intelligence Committee. They're demanding an investigation of him because instead of telling Adam Schiff, who is a Democrat on the same committee, about what he had discovered that incidental collection of Americans' conversations with the Russian ambassador, etc., had been collected. He went and he explained that to the White House and told the media before he told the Democrats. And so the Democrats are spitting mad because Adam Schiff was saying, well, you should have told us first so we could get our story straight. How dare you go and tell the media and the White House because we had a right to learn it from you first so we would know how to spin it and we wouldn't get egg on our face. And I demand an investigation of you. We need to have an investigation right now to see if you are still fit to, maybe you should recuse yourself. People are seriously saying that. They're seriously suggesting that because Devin Nunes uncovered some things and reported it to the media and to the White House and said, hey, these incidental collections have happened. Because he didn't tell Adam Schiff first, he needs to recuse himself and that they had to have we should have a separate investigation. How about an investigation of this chick, Evelyn Farkas, who was the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense and seems to be saying that, you know, she's telling former colleagues in, I guess, the deep state and Obama, you know, the alt White House to take information with you when you go, you know, that information might disappear. if Trump got in and they found out how we knew what we knew about their dealings with Russia, that they would try to compromise those sources and methods. So she became very worried because not enough was coming out into the open, and I knew that there was more. So that's why you have the leaking. That's what she said. I mean, we need an investigation of Evelyn Farkas and all of these different former associates of her, former colleagues, and the people on the Hill that she's referring to. She really, this is more, it's very concerning because to me this is way bigger than Watergate. This is another level of indirect proof that there may well have been use. It's called abuse of power. The abuse of power by the Obama administration to use our government to focus and spy on the opponent, Donald Trump, in the election. That's so it's so troubling to me, and people don't like to believe that that's possible. We know that Obama has no problem, spying on reporters like Cheryl Atkins. We've documented all of those things before. How that the Obama administration, the IRS has targeted conservatives who wanted to have 501c3 private corporations that are licensed through the what am I trying to say? Through the IRS that they can.
Well, no, I know absolutely what you're trying to say because I'm involved with one. I'm involved with the Federalist Coalition.
Right, and if you put your name down,
what we went through to try to figure out how to set ourselves up as a corporation, as a nonprofit corporation, was tedious. It was absolutely tedious. We've spent more time trying to figure out how to set ourselves up so that we are all protected than we did have getting our message out there.
Right, but the point is you have to do all these work. You jump through all of the legal hoops, and then the chick at the top of the IRS, I want to say it's Loretta Lynch, but that's DOJ. It's the other Loretta person, whatever. Lois Lerner, thank you, Lois Lerner. I can hear people shouting at me. I knew that people listening were like, Lois Lerner at the IRS. She's got marching orders to target these Tea Party type conservative groups and to delay and to deny them the same type of IRS privileges that the liberal groups are getting. So we know that the point is that the Obama administration has no problem harassing and maybe even spying on and people who oppose them. And now we've got, we keep having information from Devin Nunes saying, there was an incidental collection of Americans and that their names were unmasked. And now we have Evelyn Farkas flapping her lips, confirming that yes, there was surveillance basically going on, and the senior Obama people knew about it, and that not enough was coming out into the open, and that's why you have leaking. So, I mean, she's confirming that there are leaks of this kind of intelligence, and it's really troubling to me. This is Watergate on steroids. This is Watergate nuclear. This isn't just regular water. This is heavy water, man. If the Obama administration, if these people did indeed target a member of the opponent, the opposing party, the candidate for president, and used the power of the federal government to surveil him, his associates, his contacts, his connections through the election and following until he was that's what Russia does. That's exactly what Russia does. It's very frightening that the ramifications of this. I also heard there was some.
It's scary. It's all scary. It all scares me.
It is. It's
they. I
hope we start.
They use the viewpoint of Trump rigged the election, while the whole time they were trying to rig the election.
Exactly.
So basically, what I gather from all this is everybody's trying to rig the election. Right.
Well, no,
but
they are trying. No, they're not.
Oh, I know. I know what you're saying.
They're reflecting
I know what you're
their
saying.
own culpability. They're reflecting their own evil intentions onto their opponent. That's what they're doing. Like a mirror. They're trying to throw shade on Republicans.
Well, it's Trump. All Trump did. I mean, like I said, I wasn't a Trump supporter, but what Trump did, he's a businessman. He came in. He said, "I want to run for president." He ran for president. That's all he did. He ran for president. I don't. They want to go for all these Russian ties. Well, you know what? He's an international businessman. He's going to have Russian ties.
Smear him.
Sorry.
They want to smear him because they want to make him illegitimate. Because Hillary lost. Hillary was supposed to win. Her pick on the Supreme Court was supposed to be the guy instead of Gorsuch. They were supposed to keep hold of all of this. They didn't think that Trump was going to win. And now that Trump did all of this surveillance and all of these activities like Evelyn Farkas is talking about, it's coming out. They didn't think that this was going to be revealed. It's really troubling. But you know what? Before we go, because we only have a few more minutes, you had told us in the break, you and I were talking, and you said we're now readers. What is the term what is the new term that you?
We are no longer. Yes, we are no longer pro-lifers. We are pro-birthers.
Pro-birthers.
That's what we are.
Oh,
yes.
okay. So please.
And I was told today. That abortion is a good thing because abortion actually dropped the crime rate in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Did you see? I shared a little tweet. Did you see that fool? Sweet little boy.
Oh my goodness.
Did you see that little guy? I tweeted him out.
Yes. Wasn't he sweet?
Yeah.
Wasn't he sweet?
With Planned Parenthood. He tweeted out. He's got a very young, cute little face. Maybe he's young. I'm hoping he's like 17 and he's going to outgrow his hormones here because he, poor guy, he doesn't know any better. He's a young millennial, it looks like. Anyway, he said, I stand with Planned Parenthood because women's rights shouldn't be a debate. It should be our future. Plus, studies show abortions helped reduce crime in the 90s. Well, yeah, if you kill off all the people, we won't have any more crime. We'll just have plants.
I asked him to show his work. And he sent me a 2005 link to Freak Economics. That was his work. I was like, okay, you sent me Freak Economics. Has anybody ever heard of Freak Economics before?
Hey, look, you know what? Now, seriously, if he's working, that's great. But I look at that kind of a tweet, and I wonder what these millennials think, because women's rights shouldn't be a debate. It should be our future. Women's rights is code, you guys. Dan Fiscus, or whoever, if it's your real name. Like, women's rights is it's a dog whisperer.
I'm laughing because you got it right. Dan Fiscus.
That's right, Dan Fiscus. But women's rights is a dog whisper term. It's a term to gentle and change the harsh word of abortion. Women's rights means I get the right to kill a baby in the womb. That's what women want. This is the women's rights movement. And for him to say, well, yeah, because killing babies should be our future. That is what Dan Fiscus unwittingly, this poor young millennial little cutie pie with too long hair. He's so cute. But he's saying that, the killing of babies should be our future. I mean, doesn't he realize this is genocidal stupidity? I mean, really?
Yes, he said,
it's so cool
he literally said, it's our future.
It should be our future. It should be our future.
And then
no, it's not. It's your death. It's your genocide, guy. But anyway, so now we're pro-birthers.
Well,
so we're not pro-lifers.
It's another one. This is where the pro-birthers came from.
Oh, please tell me. Please.
I'm pulling it up right now. Oh,
I'm glad you're converting on this whole issue of abortion, Dan. I think I've gotten to you.
What do you mean? I've been 100% pro-life my entire life.
I thought you were kind of waffly on it. I don't know.
No, never. That's why I was an Austin Peterson supporter. He is 100% pro-life.
I like that too. All right. So how are we pro-birthers? Because I love that term.
I'm looking for this guy right now. This guy just cracks me up.
We want people to be born, and that means that if they're pre-born, they're not alive. Yeah, right. See, it doesn't hold up. See, if
here's who it is, and
they're admitting
I have
that
no
the baby's
problem.
alive.
I have no problem putting his name out over the air because he is a verified account on Twitter, and he's a contributor to The Nation and Rolling Stone, and his name is Joshua Holland. And according to him, we are pro-birthers. We are not pro-life. We are pro-birthers. And he got it handed to him on social media today. And basically everybody that responded to him with a reasonable argument, he told them to GFY.
GFY. I don't know what that means.
Go F
okay.
yourself.
All right, yes. Go.
That's all he said. That was his only response to anybody with an argument. Yep. That was his only response to anybody.
It's a whole hashtag, pro-birthers. They couldn't care less about life part down the road. That is such a lie. Oh, well.
So Joshua Holland, who writes for Rolling Stone and The Nation, he believes that if you are pro-life, you are not pro-life. You're just pro-birther.
Birth. All right. And how is that not pro-life? So we just want to give them so that we can kill them. Is that's it? That we want to have them born alive so we can kill them? Is that?
Well, he puts out this. He re-entered the clump of cells thing again today.
Oh yeah, we're all just a bunch of.
It's just a clump of cells.
Yeah, so am I.
We are. You are. I am. We are all clumps of cells.
So is Mish the dog. She's a clump of cells. So is a plant, for that matter. You know, we're all clumps of cells. We're just big old amoebas. You know, these guys. Don't they realize that if we're all just clumps of cells, why can't I just erase any clump of cells? Right? If there's no morality, if there's no morality to life or anything like that, what is the point? Why do we have the Constitution, anything else? Which is, I guess, maybe their point. They want to be able to control all the clumps of cells. Like I've joked about, it's controlling all the little carbon footprints, right? They want to wipe out all the carbon footprints. That's all this is. Do
you want to know the other sad thing about all this? Is that when I was in my teens and early 20s, Rolling Stone was a great magazine.
Yes.
Just saying.
Well.
Just saying.
That's it. It's rolling downhill like a rolling stone. Gathers no moss. Downhill. Bad joke. But I think that brings us to the end. Are we at the end of the last?
Oh, man. This is the end.
I know. The end. This is the end of Constitution and Culture for at least the time being, as we have other things that we need to do and go on to. You can follow me as I move through to my next destination, I suppose. You can find me on Facebook at Real Susan Swift. You can also find me on my website, which is susanswift.net, susanswift.net. And you can follow me where I write there, and I'll try to keep that updated. And Dan, where are you going to be for people who want to follow you?
I'm going to be on Twitter at Texas Special One, and I will be on Facebook at Daniel Wright, and soon to have a new show account when we get the show up and running. And you still writing for Politichicks?
I am still writing for Politichicks. Yes, I do. I write for Politichicks.
See,
and
there you go. See, I caught one. You missed it. You missed it.
And I am now doing a podcast over for Lantern's Buzz. So I am now starting over there. So it's all kinds of.
And those guys are great. I hung out with them at CPAC, and
very fun.
I'm happy for you. And you will probably need to be a guest on my show.
I would love that. if I can talk to Mish the dog, you're going to have Mish really needs her own page. I'm just telling you, it will go so crazy viral. You just put pictures of Mish doing what she does, chewing on her little chew toy and being a darling dog, and you will have, she'll have a little cult following, little page for Mish the dog.
Well, gee, if I do it on Twitter, they'll tell me that I have multiple overlapping
that's right.
accounts to to harass people because Mish the dog is going to harass people.
Well, then Mish the dog just needs to be followed by many. She doesn't have to follow too many people, does she? Why doesn't she just follow you doesn't. And that's it, you see? And then everyone can follow Mish the dog and learn about her daily life and what she thinks on political topics of the day, especially, the state of chew toys and all kinds of things. I mean, she could have so much fun. Really, she really could. It'd be fun.
Well, Susan, I'm going to break with tradition. This is your producer, Jesse, for those who don't know. And no one knew I was going to speak on air tonight on this show. I kept it 100% quiet.
What's up, Jess?
Well, I actually have a little note that was emailed to me earlier in the day from station manager Ann. She's always zapping me something. Well, guess what? One, Susan, you're welcome back anytime as a guest. Just let Ann know. She'll be more than happy to set it up. Two, Rick also sent in a message saying he's a little tied up at the moment, but he wishes you a fond farewell and best of luck in your future endeavors. And like Dan said, you are welcome on his new show as a guest. So, and I will say it has been fun producing this show. I just wish it could keep going on just a bit longer. But unfortunately, there's Mish.
Mish!
There's Mish.
Mish just said hello. Yay, Mish!
Yes, that is the real Mish. Now,
real Mish.
I put together this special little audio clip. I was gonna use this bumper, but I decided to just air it for you.
All right.
Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.
So it was just a short one, but I just thought it was appropriate. And of course,
that's nice.
It's just my way of kind of saying, I am going to miss you. You drove me crazy some nights, but I did my darndest for you every time.
Oh, do you remember that the Skype implosion internet crash? That was awful. That was the worst.
Actually, that show did not turn out badly.
My weekly Skype problems.
Well, Dan, we found a workaround for that in the end.
Yes. On the last show, we found a workaround.
Actually, we started it, I believe, partway through the previous show.
Yeah, we did. Halfway through the last show.
Halfway through the second to last show.
The last show.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the last show, but the last show.
Well, like I said, it's been fun producing for you. You've challenged me in ways that only Rick has ever challenged me before.
I'm not a technical person, okay? I am a blonde woman. What can I say? I'm not technical. I've learned a lot from you, Jesse. You've been very, very helpful, and I will have to thank Ann offline as well, because I've learned a lot. Learned how to push some of the right buttons, and learned a lot from doing this, and this is a lot of fun. I remember even before Trump was elected how Dan and I would talk on different shows and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a long fun time, and I've learned a lot of things and had a bunch of fun, and I really appreciate you.
Oh yeah, I hope we are on round tables again in 2020, because that was a blast.
I hope you will join us.
Wait, who do you think? Oh, that's what you're talking about off air. Who do you think the Democrats?
That's what put the show together, was you and I being on the round tables.
Yeah, and I'm just dying to find out who they think they can run in 2020 when we've got Trump and Pence, a strong nation, and we will have repealed Obamacare. It will get repealed right. It'll get it done, and so the nation will be doing better. And they're grooming Chelsea. They're grooming Chelsea, who, I mean, even with a fabulous budget and the powers of what media was she on, NBC, CBS, I don't know. They were grooming her. I mean, they couldn't even make that pig fly. I mean, really, just that. But that's all they've got because they want to continue the Clinton legacy. And so they've got her.
And
maybe,
to be honest with you, it could be a very interesting election because the Federalists are taking hold.
Well, we shall see, but it's all personality anymore. I think we are in the era of the celebrity president. I think that, I mean, Obama he was a wannabe celebrity president, and he's still jet setting around golfing and appearing on television shows, and he's trying.
He's a celebrity.
He's
a celebrity.
Guys, I'm going to give you my impression of the entire DNC. I think they're just quackers.
They are. They're imploding. They're having real serious problems. They've fired their entire staff. Don't let anybody tell you that they're winning. They are in absolute 100% panic. They can't believe it. They're watching the EPA is being dismantled. I mean, Trump just signed another executive order that finally enforces the Supreme Court's ruling against Obama's unconstitutional use of the EPA to restrict the mining and then the coal and things like that. That was ruled on by the Supreme Court as unconstitutional, what Obama had done, but Obama ignored it. He was being of the lawless president that he was, and was just continuing to enforce these standards to the EPA, and Trump's just rolled those back. He's now obeying the Supreme Court, and of course people are going to tell you, oh, we're going to die, like Michael Moore. This is the end of life. We're going to be extinct. I mean, you know what? We need a countdown clock, Michael Moore's countdown to death. Extermination, the countdown to extermination. We really need that because these people are unhinged. They've drunk their Kool-Aid, and they don't think we're going to survive 4 more years.
Well,
that countdown clock will end when the asteroid hits the Earth.
That's right.
That's when the countdown clock ends. And now, you know what? If there are any survivors, they'll all go, see, Trump sent the asteroid.
It will be. It'll be Bush's fault, too. Trump and Bush. They sent the asteroid. Yes. It was probably from Russia, too. It'll probably hit Russia first. And that way, it'll be the Russians' fault somehow. But, yeah, these people, they are truly screaming in the coffin. It is the undoing of the deep state. It's the undoing of the socialist state, piece by piece, brick by brick. Trump he's delivering on a lot of his promises. I know the GOP kind of dropped the ball with the repeal and replace, but the bill was so bad. We didn't need that bill. What we need now is a true full repeal, and it's going to happen because we, the people, want to make it happen. And so in 4 years, it's going to be a much better world.
Really quick, and I know we need to sign off, but my opinion on that is, to be honest with you, they really didn't think Trump was going to win. And they had to scramble.
Oh, yeah.
They had to scramble. They just had to scramble.
On the Obamacare. Oh, that's interesting.
They had to scramble?
Yes.
He wanted, look, but you see, they had from October.
They just said, we don't need to put anything together. Trump's not going to win.
But
holy shit, Trump won.
Yeah, but look, they know, they October 8th, October 9th, they woke up and everybody went, hallelujah, Hillary isn't president, right? Thank God almighty that she didn't win.
I think you mean November, but anyway.
I mean, how drunk
right,
did they
but everybody that ran on repeal went, oh my Lord, now we have to come up with something.
All they had to do is go back to 2015, pull that out, but they didn't. Anyway, that's the end of the deep state. The Democrat Party is imploding. You heard it here first. You're going to watch it happen over the next 2 or 3 years, and we'll come back maybe and celebrate it for the 2020 round, and I'll be able to say I told you so.
I got one parting audio clip for you, and then we will Roll the bumper and be out of here, Susan.
All right.
For anyone going through any type of personal battle, whether it's cancer, PTSD, depression, a personal challenge that they want to do. They want to go climb Mount Everest. You need to stay in the fight. And when I say that, I mean mentally. If you're not mentally in the fight, if you don't stay in the fight, you can't win.
Well, there you go. The Democrats
Amen.
are not in the fight. they're mentally deranged. But they will fight. They will fight to the death, to their political death. They will fight tooth and claw to the very end, because this is the slow unraveling. We have, as Andrew Breitbart said, we first we have to defeat the Democrats, and I think we've done that. And next we have to defeat basically the rhinos in the GOP. The fight now is to unify and to direct the establishment toward a more conservative, constitutionally based government. That's our next challenge. That's going to take at least 4 years, probably longer. I'm Susan Swift. We'll see ya. I don't know when, but we'll see you around. You can follow me at susanswift.net. You can check me out on social media at Real Susan Swift. Thanks so much.